What's up YouTube, Israel back in another quick video. Well, today we're going to do a first impressions and update video. Unfortunately, I don't have a box or bottle for this one. I just have a decant for review. So the fragrance we're going to talk about today has been highly anticipated and highly talked about in the fragrance community. So the very popular YouTube reviewer Jeremy Fragrance recently released his very first fragrance. So from the house of Fragrance One, we have Office for Men. So Office for Men from the house of Fragrance One is a men's fresh spicy fragrance released in 2019. The nose behind this fragrance is Alberto Marias, and it is an eau de parfum concentration. So like I mentioned before, I don't have the presentation for this fragrance, but I do have a couple of pictures, so let's discuss those. Alright, so here's the box for Office for Men. This was a Kickstarter funded project, so it's very minimalistic. You get a cardboard box with a white label with the information on there, wrapped in cellophane. I believe at the bottom it says eau de parfum, and it has like the size of the bottle and whatnot. That's on the bottles that everyone received now, not in the picture you're seeing here, but yeah, very minimalistic. You know, it's the first release. I wasn't expecting any kind of gaudy bottles or anything like that. I was just expecting something simple, and that's what we got. Alright, so here is the bottle for Office for Men. Again, it's very minimalistic. You have a clear glass bottle and an atomizer on there, the name of the fragrance. It does resemble the Molecule 01 bottles, but again, very minimalistic, not too much going on with this bottle. Alright, so here are the notes for Office for Men. In the top we have bergamot, ambrox, and iris. In the mid we have pink pepper, cachalox, and paradisone. And in the base we round things off with musk, patchouli, and woody notes. Alright, so like I mentioned before, this fragrance has been highly anticipated and highly talked about for lots of different reasons, most of which I'm not going to get into. I don't really, participate in any kind of drama. I stay in my own lane for the most part in my life, so I don't really do all that kind of stuff. I just want to come here for the fragrance and see what it smells like. But I have heard it's all over the place, very designery. It's sort of like Sauvage with Bleu de Chanel. With some Aventus and all these, different fragrances are being kind of thrown in there that's saying this is kind of reminiscent to. But it's supposed to be a fragrance for the office, and it's supposed to be a nice, mass-appealing fragrance for men. If you guys have ever seen Jeremy's channel, I've caught a couple of his videos, in the past, and yeah, I mean, he gravitates towards women and what smells nice, what's crowd-pleasing. So yeah, it's going to smell like most likely like a designer fragrance, and it's going to be mass appealing. And, if it smells anything like those, like the Sauvages and the Bleu de Chanels and the Aventus of the world, as long as it has its own thing going, I won't be disappointed. So let's take our first impressions. Alright, so I have a 5 ml decant here. I'm going to try to not use a lot of sprays because I do want to test this over the next couple of days. But yeah, 5 ml should be plenty of juice. Got a clean hand here. Let's pop the cap. Alright, here we go. 3 decent sprays. Okay, yeah. Definitely getting a lot of that ambroxan. Definitely getting a lot of the citrus. Okay, right now it's kind of generic. The ambroxan in this and the citrus sort of reminds me a little bit of that light blue sun that I did a review on a couple of weeks ago. It's getting a little bit sweeter now. The wood notes are in the background right now. I think they're going to pop here in a little bit, but they are in the background. Okay. Still the ambroxan and the bergamot. The bergamot's actually very tart. It's very fresh. Stronger than it was in the Dolce & Gabbana one that I referred to. Yeah, very natural smelling bergamot. It's very heavy compared to some other fragrances that I've tried that have bergamot. They usually kind of put a touch in there. This actually has quite a bit. It's very sharp. It has a little bit of bite to it. The ambroxan's not in your face. It's not super, Dior Sauvage or any of those really, stinky kind of ambroxan notes that are in these fragrances nowadays. They're putting way too much ambroxan in there. And it's kind of smells like armpit or kind of like, just very unpleasant, kind of stinky and sour. Yeah, so the pink pepper is definitely giving some spice. The bergamot's giving some freshness. I'm not really sure what cachalox is or paradisone. I briefly looked those up and, I didn't really, find too much on them. It's getting a little sweeter here and there, not too much. Not really sure where that comes from. Maybe the musk is giving a bit of sweetness to mix in with those opening notes. But right now I'm really, kind of left with the opening notes. It's not changing too much. It's gotten a little woodier. That patchouli is starting to kick in a little bit. It's getting a little dirty. Not really getting much of the iris. Usually what I get with iris is a bit of powderiness. Maybe that's in the sillage, but I'm not really getting it so close to my hand right now. It's a little dirtier right from that patchouli. The citrus notes, you know, with the patchouli, smell a bit like vetiver's in there too. It's very earthy. Yeah, so the citrus notes, the ambroxan, the pink pepper for some spice. The patchouli is making it a little earthy, a little dirty, but not too much. The woody notes are in there. I can't really specify, you know, any particular woody notes, cedar or, you know, it smells pleasant. It's not unpleasant. It's just sort of generic for my taste. I'm not being wowed by this. I'm not, you know, having my hair blown back. Yeah, it just smells nice, but not groundbreaking. All right, so I'm going to take this 5 ml decant and hopefully it lasts me the next couple of days. Give it a nice full wearing. Give you guys an update shortly. Talk to you then. All right, guys, well, I'm back with my update for Office for Men from the House of Fragrance 1. All right, so I had a few days to spend with this fragrance, and I must say I do like it. I'm going to keep the same opinion from the first half of the video that it is generic. You know, it still has the ambroxan in there that a lot of other fragrances on the market have. You know, it has the bergamot, which a lot of other fragrances on the market have. But, you know, it's still really nice. This is definitely high quality juice. I really did enjoy wearing this one. I only had a 5 ml sample, but it did give me a really good feel for it. I didn't get a chance to really put on as many sprays as I wanted like I normally do. But if anything, you know, that was probably okay because this fragrance is pretty strong. So not too much change from the first half of the video, as in when you first spray it, you do get the ambroxan and the bergamot. You know, it's nice and fresh. The pink pepper is really strong in this, makes it nice and spicy. You know, maybe about 30 minutes to 45 minutes later, you get like a really strong patchouli note. The patchouli mixes really well with the bergamot and the pink pepper, so it's very spicy. You know, and I did like that about it. The dry down did remind me a little bit of Hachivat or Hasavat, as some people might prefer to call it. But that's from the House of Nishane or Nishane. That one was kind of an Aventus clone. That one didn't have any ambrox in it. The only thing that I compare this fragrance to Hachivat with is that it has a lot of patchouli in the dry downs. Very patchouli, very woody, and it's fresh from the bergamot. That one has pineapple, I believe, and some other citruses, but it's very similar. It does share the same strength as that one too, and that was an extrait. So longevity for this fragrance was above average. It did last me 6 to 8 hours, with the first few hours were really strong. Got a little closer after the 3rd or 4th hour, but it was still there. Definitely last you a full day at work. I mean, so it is called Office for Men for a reason. So projections for this fragrance was definitely above average as well. I did get good projection for the first 2 to 3 hours. It all really just depends on how much you spray, but the first hour was really strong. You just got a little bit closer after that, and after the 3rd hour, still there. Decent little bubble. Nice sillage trail after the 3rd hour, but it got a little closer like most fragrances do. But overall, yeah, definitely above average projection for this fragrance. So occasions for this fragrance, I'm going to say it is safe enough for work. Just go easy on the trigger. The first few hours are very strong, as I mentioned before. But yeah, casual, day wear. It's spicy enough with the pink pepper and the patchouli that maybe even it's safe enough to wear in the evening or maybe even date night. But definitely work in any casual setting would be perfect for this fragrance. So seasons for this fragrance, I'm going to say it's definitely safe enough year-round. I think it's fresh enough with the bergamot and the ambrox for the warmer weather, and it's spicy enough with the pink pepper and the patchouli for the cooler weather. So ages for this fragrance are going to be 25 and up. I think the patchouli and the ambroxan are more suited for a mature audience. You know, the bergamot's going to be nice and fresh for the younger guys, but with those two notes, I'm not really sure how a younger audience would gravitate towards those. It might be turned off by that. Not to mention the price. I believe the price is $160 or $165 for 100 ml. I'm not really sure what the price is going to be in the future when they have a better bottle. But right now, I think the last I heard it was $160, $165 for 100 ml. Bit pricey for the younger guys. So overall, I do like this fragrance. I don't love it. I'm not going to tell you guys to run out and buy a bottle right now. I would say go ahead and maybe get a decant if you can. Get your nose on it first. Make sure you like it before you blind buy a bottle. But yeah, it's still a good fragrance. It's you know, it's a little generic, but it is high quality. It has really good performance. It is mass appealing. I did get compliments with this one. You know, I was surprised by the quality of it. I really thought it was going to be a little bit lighter, but it's, you know, it's an EDP. It lasted a long time. You know, I'm not offended by this. It did remind me of a couple of other fragrances. You know, a little bit of Sauvage, a little bit of, you know, D&G Light Blue Sun, a little bit of this and that, a little bit of Hachivat, you know, from Nishane. But you know, that's a niche house, and that fragrance is actually an extrait, and this one one kind of reminds me of that in the dry down, and it's just as strong in the dry down. I can't really complain too much about this fragrance. Just the fact that it's a little generic, but you know what? Like, he did a good job. I mean, this is a guy who's a reviewer and, hired another perfumer to make a good fragrance, and he put it out there and was successful at it. I can't get mad at the guy for being successful at following his dreams and doing something he really wants to do. I was doing that with music for a long time. I didn't get nearly as much credit as I wanted to playing music. It's like everyone's dream. You want to, get better every year and do something that you didn't do the year before. So, I'm not mad at the guy. He made a decent fragrance. It smells good. And, I wish him success. I hope everything works out for him. I like this one, and I can't be mad at the guy for making a good, solid fragrance. So has anyone out there tried Office for Men from the House of Fragrance 1? Let me know your experience with this fragrance down in the comments below. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching the video on my channel. If you like this video and want to see more videos like it, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider signing up for notifications by hitting that notification bell. That way when I upload new videos, you'll be the first to find out. Please follow me on Instagram, Dollars and Cents. Please like, comment, subscribe. Until next video, you guys take care. Thanks.